Welcome everybody. Thank you for passing by. My name is Jose. I'm a Yondang in Kendo, and today we're going to be doing a live stream like every Sunday at 3:30 p.m. It's going to be a Kendo stream. We're going to be talking about Kendo. We're going to watch some Kendo videos and hopefully having some fun, answering some questions if you have them. So yeah, happy 4th of July, by the way. If you're here, please let me know you're here, whether by sending me a message, through the chat, hitting the like button. All those things will be helpful. That will be really appreciated. Now let me just make sure that I set up everything correctly over here. Okay, let me know how everything is, like the volume of the music, the volume of my microphone, making sure that everything's working. So, how has been your Kendo week? Anybody got some practice this week? Are we all back to practice? Still waiting for the dojo to reopen? How are things going on in your end when it comes to all that? I would like to know. And of course, I'll tell you a little bit about my Kendo week, because you know, that's definitely something that I think is worth sharing. This is my second week after I came back from my trip. If you don't know this, I was in Greece. I went to Europe for practice, and I passed by Greece and Serbia, and I practiced pretty much like every day. I think I was only like 2 or 3 days where I didn't get to practice. And my dog is chewing his bone in front of it like, I hope it doesn't go blind. Morty, get away from there. Anyways, so yeah, so I got to get some good practice, and it's interesting how, you know, I think it's really cool going visiting new places, going out, practicing with new people, because not only you get to try out some of the stuff that you've been working on, but also you start getting different feedback too, right? You start getting, whether it's advice from people, you start getting, you know, like the feedback in the sense that, okay, the things that you're doing are not working, you're trying to figure out some of the things that you may be doing in order to make it better for yourself, to get a better performance. So I think it's always cool to go visit new people, practice with different people all over. So yeah, if you are practicing already, let me know how that's going for you. So far, I think that when I go visit a new place, what I like to do is try to not overwhelm myself with I want to work and I want to improve many different things at once. I try to just keep it simple. Maybe having like 1 or 2 things that I'm working on constantly and seeing how those things compare when I practice with new people. And I'm not sure if you've seen it, but I posted a video of my practice, one of my practices on YouTube this past week. And you can definitely tell that I seen in myself a lot of hesitation, because I'm trying to work on making my opponent react, trying to communicate and get a reaction. But I understand that I guess I haven't really understood specifically what that means, because sometimes I come like, I don't allow myself to go in unless I see a reaction where there might have been an opening there. So I end up waiting, and then the other person kind of like takes over and comes in. So it kind of, it's a little bit of a weird trade-off for me right now. So what I wanted to do today, maybe taking some time and watching that video together and like tell you a little bit more or less what's going through my head. I actually did this with Griva Sensei. He sat down with me for a little while, and you know, we looked at some of the stuff that I'm doing, maybe like some of the habits, some of the good stuff that's happening. And I think that's important to do for yourself or with somebody else, because it's a different way of feedback. I know that, for example, at the dojo, senseis will try always to help you. But number one thing, I don't think the senseis can look at you all the time, right? So if you have a camera, I think it's a good way to start getting, you know, like you can sit down later and analyze all those stuff, work on that stuff on your own. So I think that's one thing. And on top of that, normally like the senseis or anybody else in the dojo, they're working on their stuff too, so they're not really always paying attention to what's happening with you. So I think just having a little bit of feedback, maybe sitting down with the sensei later with the video, I think it's a great idea. Which actually I kind of wanted to ask, put the question out there. What do you think about having cameras at the dojo? How about recording practices? Is that something you feel comfortable with? Is that something that's done at your dojo? Yeah, let me know, because I've been in dojos where they're cool with it, and there's I've been in dojos where they're not cool with it at all. And I don't mind. I don't mind people recording the practice. Obviously, you know, I'm always hesitant of posting the stuff that I record when I record a practice, because, you know, I feel like I need to ask permission from everybody that was at the practice in order to post something. But like, I think the recording is not a problem at all. I think it's just so beneficial to have recording, and like just to keep a log, even for yourself, just keep a log of how your kendo's been evolving. But let me know what you think. While you do that, I do want to mention that every video that I will be showing today, I'll be posting today, I'll be leaving the links up in the Discord like I did last week. I think that's been a great thing to do. So what I'm going to do is I'm gonna, oh wait, I think I wrote the wrong command. In the chat, I'm gonna write down the Discord command, so that way I can pin it. So if you would like to join the Discord, you can just click the button, the link at the top, and pin the message. So yeah, you can do that and watch that. I'm gonna turn on the chat here in the screen, just for everybody to be more comfortable. If you can, please hit the like button, just so I get this video pushed out to more people out there. I know it takes a little bit of time for people to actually see the notification that I'm going live, and I think the likes do help get that message across a little bit better. The other thing also, I guess I'll put the thing up here. You can also check the merch site if you'd like to support the channel. But there you go. That's all the stuff there. Definitely go check out the Discord, because we have a lot of good conversations in there. Actually, one of the things that I wanted to talk about today, I asked about it in the Discord, and it comes to, what is your preference when it comes to bogu bag, or like where carrying your bogu? So I jokingly made like a little bit of a survey, where I put in the survey the roller bags, you know, those bags that have wheels, the backpacks, also the one strap bags. I put what was the other thing that I put? I put a furoshiki, which, if you don't know this, is like one of those cloth that you can fold into a bag. There's like 1,000 ways, like 1,000 creative ways to fold and like to wrap stuff with it, which I seen it before. I actually used to do that for travel, and I'll tell you why in a second. And then jokingly, I put lastly a trash bag. Hey Theo, welcome to the stream. Thank you for passing by. And so at the end of the survey, I put a trash bag as a joke, obviously, but I have used a furoshiki when I travel, because the cloth not only helps keep everything together, protects the bogu a little bit when it comes to maybe like if it gets scuffed from the travel bag from the outside. And if you don't know this, I normally travel with a golf cover bag, so I normally put something in front of it, like a towel or something like that, just in case, you know, anything gets like caught and for some reason gets, you know, I don't want it to like damage my bogu. But with the furoshiki, it's so light that normally what I will do is I pack my bogu bag on a separate bag, like on my carry-on or something like that, so that way I can bring more stuff. So if I'm traveling with someone else and I need to bring 2 or 3 bogu sets in there, or maybe 2 bogus and more shinais, yeah, I don't think I can fit 3 bogu sets in my bag, but definitely 2 I have fit. So I bring 2 bogu sets and maybe like 7 or 8 shinais. I can totally do that if I take out my bogu bag and put it separately, because, you know, normally it's the weight restriction that I have a problem with, and that works. I personally prefer the backpack style. I know. I remember being in Japan and a sensei being upset at somebody dragging their bag with like one of the wheel bags, and I get it. Like it's not something like visibly pleasant. I guess that would be a word to say. I I don't know how I feel about them. I used to have one that I got for free, and I think I used it once, maybe twice, and then I don't even know where that bag is. I think I gave it away or something. But mainly the reason why I don't like it, first because I don't want to have like 3 or 4 bags like switching around, whatever. I think like it's too much space. But going to Japan, for example, where I had to go so many distances, I think the wheels would have falling off like within 2 weeks. So I prefer the backpack. And actually a lot of people in the survey, in the Discord server, also prefer the backpack. But let me know what you think. What's your favorite way of storing or carrying your bogu? Which, by the way, I'm gonna be posting a video of how I put my bogu away, and like some of the tips that I have learned throughout, just kind of to help your bogu kind of like last a little bit longer. So yeah, stay tuned for that, because that's something I actually recorded before the pandemic. But I remember like having all that footage, and I didn't want to edit that video because I was like, nobody's doing kendo, so I think this will be like a useless video right now. So I kept that footage, and I just recently refound that footage, and I was thinking, maybe it will be a thing that I can do a video about it now that people are going back to practice. We actually just had a beginner that just got his bogu at the dojo where I'm practicing, and it's amazing because he's actually giving 100% in his effort, and I'm loving it. And there's something I want to talk about it in a second. But Johnny, welcome to the chat. You usually do Jigeko in the end of practice, and you have been recording them. Oh, cool. So going back to recording your practices, yeah, and that's one of the problems that I have too. If I record the whole practice, then I don't have space to store it. And normally, just for convenience, I record on my phone. So if I try to like airdrop from my phone into my computer something too big, it will just take forever, and I will just won't do it. But yeah, okay, so you're recording just the Jigeko. That's cool. Actually, this week I wanted to record a little bit of the actual practice, just to make sure that I'm performing my basics fine. But let me ask you a question. Is that something that when you do it, that people already know that's okay? How does the sensei feel about having the camera recording? Do you have any restrictions when it comes to that? I know, sorry. The dog is kind of just like going around. I'm playing with the lights. Dude, stop. So I know some senseis, for example, some dojos, they record it, like they put it on like private channels in YouTube, so for everybody, to like watch the practice, which I think is great. When you have somebody dedicated that to take that time to do that, I think it's amazing. Maybe I should start doing that for the dojo too. But again, my problem ends up being that I don't normally have the storage in my phone, because I have so many things in my phone that and this camera stays here. So I need to figure something out. Because I know a lot of you guys have been asking me to share some of the recent practices in Keiko. But yeah, so I would like to do that more for you guys. Actually, ideally, I would like to get to the point where I could even stream from my phone here on YouTube, and people could, see the practice live, and you can, ask questions and so on. I think that would be great. But yeah, so that's just food for thought. Maybe for the future. Yeah, at some point in the future, I'll definitely start doing that. I'm also hearing that there's a couple of events coming up in different countries. I'm actually happy to hear that. I'm seeing that some of them, not some of them, all of them have some type of restriction some type of, something that has to be done in order to make sure that the event happens. But still, I think we're going on the right path. I am excited to start attending events and starting to see some people again. If by any chance you have an event or your dojo is open to, especially if you're in US right now, if your dojo is open for visitors, please let me know. If you can maybe send me a message here or send in the Discord, I think it would be great. Because at some point I want to start getting back into traveling and seeing people again, seeing some of my friends. I know some dojos in California are open that I have friends in. I haven't really talked to people in New York, but I've seen that there are some dojos that are open there already. So, and down in South America, I think in Mexico, so there's some people practicing as well. I've seen people in Puerto Rico as well practicing. So yeah, it's kind of cool. It's kind of awesome that practices are getting back into the swing of things, and I hope I can start joining practice with other people outside of my dojo pretty soon. So yeah, that's I guess my well, I guess I haven't told you about this week. So this week I told you I met up with Griva Sensei, and he kind of gave me a little bit of feedback on my practice in Greece. There's some things that I kind of knew already that he started telling me, and I'm like, but it's always helpful to have somebody kind of tell me all this stuff again, because then I can ask specific questions that I think will help me to fix these problems. And it's cool to do that, because if you keep it in mind, because I think that's the hardest part, just keep it in mind when you go to Keiko, not fall into the old habits of doing everything you've done that got you into doing the bad habit you have. So if you remember that, if you go into practice mindful like that, getting those little tips, little golden nuggets of advice, I think makes such a big difference, and it helps you get out of those plateaus so much faster. I'll tell you, for example, on my practice in Greece, somebody actually in the Discord server made the comment that I'm coming in too close and hitting too light. And watching the video, we noticed that we noticed that I am coming in too close with my right foot, but my left foot is staying behind. So yes, I'm throwing my hands first just because I feel like I'm already pushing with my left. I start pushing with my left, but I guess it doesn't get to build enough momentum to actually get a good impact. So trying it out, going back to the dojo, trying to hit from farther away, I do feel that I have better impact and starting to get better follow through, which is another thing. And I'll show it. I'll show it in a second in the video where, I'm hitting, but then I'm kind of going around the person. I'm not going around, but I'm not really in a lot of times I'm not following through as much as I would like it to, or so much as I should. So yeah, I think maybe watching that video together hopefully will be useful for some people out there, kind of seeing how I look at what I was doing, give me some feedback. You can ask me questions about it. I really don't mind, because I for a while, one of the reasons why I didn't want to post a lot of my Kendo stuff in here, number one, is because if I post something where I get ippons and stuff like that, it's oh, I'm bragging. Or if I post something and it looks bad, or at least this is the way I was thinking, if I post something and it looks bad, even if it's an ippon, whatever, people are gonna be oh yeah, it's not good, it's not Kendo, whatever. I don't know, some mental stuff. But I was you know what? No, I think this is a great way to actually start getting feedback from each other, and one way or another, hopefully help me improve my Kendo. Shen, welcome to the chat. Thank you for passing by. You were always told that because you can hit from my eye doesn't mean that you should, and that you need to get closer because it's harder to react to if you have less distance to cover. So I think the key word there that I'm going to say that's the problem, and I'm not, saying a problem is probably like a umbrella term right now, but ideally I want to not be reactive. Want to be proactive. I want to make a reaction from the opponent. And one of the things that I was told when I was in Japan was that I was hitting from too far, making it way too predictable, right? So I would be caught with a kaeshido or suriage hikimen, suriage hikikote a lot because my opponent had the opportunity to know when I was coming and have enough time to react and do something against it. And I'm talking in the essence of shiai, for example, because remember I was there trying to train for the world championship, right? So what the sensei I was practicing with told me is that come in, pressure, and go. So at the end of the pressure, attack. Not necessarily come in and then wait and react. So that's, I think, and that's part of what I'm working in my head through right now as I'm working for the things that I've been told I should be working for right now. Where I want to communicate, I want to get my opponent to react, but sometimes I wait instead of just holding for that opening. I'm kind of waiting too much for like the perfect opportunity, and I shouldn't. You know, at some point I should just, I've been using this word a lot, like pull the trigger, and I should just pull the trigger. Shen, you're saying that that's your same experience? So you had the same problem that I was having where, you know, people were reading me. And that's one of the things, you know, I have a lot of reach. I'm not trying to brag or anything, but I'm tall, I'm not short. I do launch, I can launch very far. And on top of that, I have long arms. So yeah, I have no problem reaching over. And sometimes in my learning, hi, Steven. And Shen, okay, so you're saying the same things. You have the same problem that I had. So some problems that I had as I was like growing up in my kendo is that I felt that maybe because I had long arms, I would get tangled a lot with the person as I was coming in. So I think that being able to hit from a short distance, it's important. Knowing how to, like, where your hand position, your body position, all those stuff at the short distance, it's very important, especially for like degashira men, right? Like somebody's coming for men and degashira, like hit him, like anticipate him. Most of the times they're coming already to you, so they're closing the distance. So you need to learn how to do those compact waza. But being able to make the opening, have the communication, make the opening, and build momentum, and then pull the trigger, you know, from a very far distance, closing in the distance, I think is also very important. And that's what I'm working on right now, especially without hesitation, without hitting and stopping. I want to hit and go through. That's my goal right now. That is what I'm working for right now. Let me catch up with some of the comments here. Thank you guys for passing by, sharing some of your thoughts and comments. If you can, please hit the like button so to see if we can get this video pushed out to more people. I would really appreciate it. But Johnny, you said your senseis are really okay with recording. They usually ask you if you could record because you have a phone to and a stand with you. That's awesome. That's awesome. I really enjoy when senseis are being very open to what the students are asking for. Not necessarily in a way that, okay, you're getting away from the kendo, but also, you know, like some of the things that, because I know that maybe video is not traditional, right? Like recording yourself is not traditional, but it has become, and I think it's becoming a great tool for feedback, because at the end of the day, you know, maybe you tell me I have a mistake, but if I don't see myself doing the mistake, maybe I have an image that it's like, oh, I have good kendo, but it's not there. Video will definitely help with that. Shen, you're saying that for you, it's out of fear because in your mind, Toma is a space where I can reach them, but they can't reach me. Yeah, but you see, but you have to come out of Toma in order to reach them. So as you do that, then they become the distance where they can reach you. So it's great when you have somebody, for example, I think the most advantage I've taken out of my reach, it's when people keep going backwards, because when they keep going backwards, you know, I've been attacking at one distance, but all of a sudden I can leap further back and catch them. And I think this is where I've been most successful at using my reach. But coming in from Toma and just, I'm gonna say blindly going in from Toma, that has been more detrimental to me than helpful. What I'm working on right now, it's obviously from Toma or even further, try to come in with pressure, attentiveness, and make the opponent, whether it is to say like he's coming and freeze for half a second, or have a reaction that I can start now taking advantage of, whether it's like suriage, kaeshi, like any type of waza. And I want to make a video about this, but I haven't really found the words to make it. And it's kind of like the similarity between shikake waza and oji waza, that we see oji, a lot of people, we don't see it, a lot of people see oji waza as kind of like defensive waza, where I like to use the word deflective waza, because I am not trying to defend myself in the way that I'm coming in to execute oji waza. I'm trying to come in with pressure and make them react. So versus being standing in one place or maybe going back and then the person comes for me and then I have to defend myself, right? Of course, they're useful in those scenarios as well. I'm not saying don't defend yourself when the sword's coming your way, but ideally I want to be the one causing the person to move instead of having the person kind of like, because in a lot of ways, they might be baiting me, they might be, like whatever. It's just what I'm working on right now. Whether it's the right thing to work on or not, I don't know. I feel very comfortable, or not comfortable, but like confident on this type of study right now. I feel it's interesting to me. So that's, I think, what I'm doing. That's some of the stuff that people has been telling me that, you need to do for my golden testing. So it's not the main thing. I shouldn't say that. It's not the main thing I'm lacking for my golden testing, but it's something that I do find enjoyment in doing. Shen, you're saying that soon. I don't know why. Well, I don't know why I'm so thirsty, guys. It's super hot here in Miami right now. I practiced yesterday and it was super hot. And today, even though we practiced earlier, it was super hot as well. It's very humid. So yeah, I'm very thirsty. I'm sorry if I'm drinking a lot. And I literally just got home like a little bit ago before I start setting up for the stream. So Shen, you're saying that Sumi Sensei has a video where he talked about the 3 types of seme. That you think I'm talking about. The 3rd type of seme is in his video. Yeah, and like, listen, I need to find this. There's a video. There's a pretty cool video. I need to find it and I'll share it in the Discord. When it talks about different types of seme, and the sensei talks in the video about isun no seme, and isun. Asun being a measurement of distance, a measurement of measurement of distance, and like asun is about like between like 2 or 3 inches, I think, or maybe it's like 1.5 and 2 inches. I don't know. If anybody here knows about swords, if you can correct me on that, that would be awesome, because it is a measurement for the swords, if I'm not mistaken, like the length of the sword, whatever. So with the concept that he is talking in this video, and I will share it. I promise I'll share it. Maybe we can watch it together in next stream. But talks about approaching your opponent within that measurement of distance, creating that pressure, and as you do that, start building the momentum, not just blindly just take a step. And throughout this past couple of weeks of practice, me and some of the people that I'm practicing with, we're starting to notice how important that those little tiny steps are, but how proficient you have to be in your footwork, doing those tiny steps without cutting your momentum from one step to another in order to attack, in order to break the tension and go for the technique, which is something that I was told when I was in my trip that I'm doing. That sometimes I'm coming in, I'm taking that little step, and just for lack of a better word, my interpretation of seme ends up being a cutoff of the energy to make the opening, or to come in for the attack. So what that does, it does two things from both sides. From my opponent's perspective, it makes it seem like I'm coming and stopping, so kind of like the tension or the pressure kind of like dissipates for a little bit. And for me, what it does is that it makes me start again from zero, but now at a closer distance. So now I'm at risk of doing what you were saying, Shan, being reactive, because at that point, then the opponent can come in. Now I have zero momentum, zero power forward, and my opponent can take advantage of that, and then I'm done, right? So that's what I'm struggling with right now. If you guys want me to to have a real talk time, that's definitely the some of the things that I'm. Is my camera straight? Yeah, it is, right? Guys, I'm seeing my camera like a little bit like choppy. I don't know if it's like bad quality or not. Oh, okay, no, okay, yeah, things are good. Okay, sorry, I had like a bad resolution on my camera, so I hope you guys see it fine. That's one of the things. So coming from Europe, I feel like now I have like a lot of homework, talking to my friends as well, getting some feedback, taking it one step at a time. I think there's a lot of things, obviously, and that's one of the things that I want to talk about today. How do you judge, or how do you criticize your own Kendo videos? I think that's important to talk about, because I think that the way you even talk to yourself will have an effect on how you evolved in your Kendo, or evolved in your in everything in general, right? So yeah, I want to talk a little bit about that today. Shen, your senpai shows you how to have tame while moving the left foot. You move forward only with the big toe on both feet. So explain that a little bit if you don't mind. So like kind of like when you start moving, you start trying to creep in with the right foot, and maybe creeping is a bad word, but kind of like, slowly bring it in with the right foot. But then how about the left foot? How does the left foot comes in with the big toe? So what I try to do is that, or what I've seen for myself lacking, for example, and I see it a lot when it comes to beginners, is that when they take the first step, let me rephrase for a second. One step in Kendo involves moving both feet, right? So when I see a lot of times when people are cutting the energy, and when I see it on myself, when it happens to me, I feel that I'm pushing with my left, my right foot starts moving, my right foot gets where it needs to go, and then my left foot comes in. Maybe it comes in quick, maybe it comes in slow. It should come in quick, by the way. But when it comes in, it's not really re-engaging immediately. It's taking like a fraction of a second for me to start pushing again and kind of keeping my momentum forward. I see it in beginners where they move. It's kind of like their body has intention forward, but when they move, their body kind of shifts this angle, and then they redo it. So all those type of little details and like complicated details in reality, make, I think, a big difference into approaching the opponent and not cutting that energy, that connection towards your opponent. So Shen, you use the big toe to claw on the floor with the left foot. So it's kind of like, okay, I don't like to use the big toe, but I think it's personal. Because on my left foot, I had an injury where I was practicing in tatami and my left big toe got stuck and it hyperflexed, and it hasn't been the same since then. So yeah, I think I'm always like, it doesn't hurt anymore when I'm doing Kendo, but I do feel it a couple times every now and then. I feel like the knuckle of that toe is like bigger too, so it's kind of like sometimes annoying, but it is what it is. Shen, so the Hakama hides it. People can't tell you're moving at all when they're facing you. Yeah, so moving in, that's the ideal. And if, especially if you're doing tiny steps, right? And for example, you'll see it a lot on the All Japan when like they're trying to put that pressure when the person's going back, and they kind of like do the little tiny like tick, 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 like the steps. You'll see it a lot, and it's pretty cool. Jan, welcome to the stream. Thank you for passing by. No, you haven't missed too much. Let me just catch you up. We talked a little bit about that discussion, or that survey I put up in the Kendo Gear. What's the preference in people on carrying their bogu? And I just shared the results, which you saw already. Most people chose the backpack. So yeah, and we talked a little bit about my practices, the video that I posted with my practice from Greece, and some of the things that I'm working on, and we're gonna watch a little bit of that. And then I am going to I actually found two cool videos. One of them is a compilation of All Japan, the full All Japans from 2000 to 2003, I believe. So don't worry, we're not gonna watch them all because it's a long video. But it's one is the one, I think the first one in 2000 is the one that Ega won against Miyazaki. So I think there's very good show of Kendo, I think, in that All Japan. And then another tournament that in reality, like, I think the reason why I mainly chose that one is because the last ippon was a very nice ippon from Jodan player, and I know we have a big Jodan family in the Discord and here in the stream. So, but yeah, I feel like now we have a healthy amount of people here. I can maybe start going over some of the videos. Let me just start setting that up while I talk about some other stuff. You know what's funny, guys? It's definitely been a year since I travel, right? So hold on. Oh my god, like a new version of this thing. Let me see. So sorry guys, this thing is like doing like some type of oh, what's going on? Okay, can you guys see me? Okay, yeah, we're good. Oh my god, I got freaked out because this thing kind of like, let me see, what's going on? Oh my god. Sorry guys, this thing is being annoying. Okay, I think we're good. Okay, let me set up the Steven, Jordan Life. Nice. Yes. I know you guys love Jordan. It's interesting because I feel like a lot of people are getting more into Jordan lately, and I kind of want to know if there's a specific reason why is that happening, because I feel like I think Jordan, it's been cool. Yeah, I think Jordan is always cool, right? But I think now, this past year, I feel like more and more people are talking about, they would like to practice Jordan. So I don't know. It's just a curiosity thing. Okay, guys, let me just make sure that I put this right here. Let me make sure that. Okay, what? Guys, okay, you guys gonna have to give me 1 second because for some reason the VLC player, Theo, I think at some point I need to like have you like, like just looking behind my computer, just because I feel that sometimes I'm just not doing a good job with this whole thing. And granted, I'm on PC, so I'm like a little bit lost every now and then. Technology. Sorry guys. Let me see. You know what's a there's I think I don't know if you guys seen any videos. I'm sure if you guys like Jordan, you've seen Shodai do practice, right? So when it comes to Jordan, I think that he has a very unique way of executing Jordan. And he has one thing that I really like when it comes to specifically being in Jordan, which is that recovery after, you know, he throws a waza and then he spins the shiai back up and he's able to do like Rensoku waza from Jordan, and he's so good with it. And I think I only met one person that does that consistently when I was in Japan. And it was in Kobe University, and I like that kid was just amazing when it comes to fighting with Jordan. And it's funny because I have a friend that he wants to learn Jordan, and he asked me, you know, to ask him questions about you know, like how can he do Jordan, right? And I asked him, and the first question that my friend from Japan asked me is like, why is he doing Jordan? So it's funny how like the first question he asked was, why is this person doing Jordan? And you know, to that I was like, well, he likes it, right? So then it got me curious. I was like, why are you doing Jordan? And he was like, well, I started in Chudan, but then my sensei told me I sucked, and if I wanted to keep doing Kendo, I should do Jordan. And yeah, he is amazing in Jordan. And we only got, I don't think, I think I only saw him in Chudan when he was receiving, and that was about it. So that's interesting, you know, because I mean, I think he has a great Jordan, great and amazing Jordan. So I don't know why you know, like they would say that, okay, he had really bad Jordan. Okay guys, I'm having a problem when it comes to the video player. Hold on. For some reason, the thing told me you need to do an update. I clicked it, and then for some reason it's just not opening up. And I am getting slightly frustrated when it comes to this. Okay. Let's see. Okay. Let me see. Okay. Let me see. Okay. Okay, let's see if it's okay. It's installing right now, so I think we should be fine now. Sorry guys, sorry this is taking this long and it's being like that. I am so sorry. For some reason, like I had the program open like literally like 50 minutes before I started the stream. I reset my computer, and then when I... So sorry guys. Thank you for staying with me and bearing with all this. It's hell. Steven, you okay? Wait, sorry, Theo. You said you can totally schedule a screen sharing on Discord someday, and you'll be glad to help. Yeah, no, thank you, and we should do that. But I'm saying like maybe you should just look behind my shoulder because I think I'm messing it up every time I touch something in a PC. I am completely ignorant when it comes to this whole PC thing. But I'm learning though. I'm learning. Normally I've been using a Mac, so okay, it opened. So let's see. Okay, hold on. You know what I'm gonna do? What I'm going to do right now is I'm gonna, as this thing keeps going, I'm just gonna download this video because since it's mine, I can do that. But Steven, so you said that you think it's a common thing in Japan. What is it for the sensei to tell the student that they suck, they should do something different or something like that? Maybe. I thought it was funny that he told me the reason why he does Yodan is because his sensei told him he sucks at Chudan. You know, just straightforward like that. So I think it's hilarious. I appreciate the foresight because I if I'm not mistaken, I think my friend was in the All Japan for the university level. His name is Kitamura, and he's from Kobe University. So if anybody finds him in a video, please let me know because that'll be cool to watch. Because he's really good Jordan. He's really good Jordan. Welcome, Tobias. Thank you for passing by. I really appreciate you being here. Right now, I'm trying to see what's happening with my videos. And for some reason, it's like, right now, it's not letting me open up any of the videos. Well, the first video that I tried to play. Let me see if it's going to open this one. Because if not, I guess we're going to have to do it through YouTube directly. And then okay, so I guess it was just the video that I had before. Okay, cool. So I downloaded the video. Welcome to Kendo Tips. Let me advance this real quick. Okay, and let me see. Is this? Okay, let's see. Okay, so not this one. Okay, the video that I have in the background right now, it's one of the videos that we're going to be watching today. That's the compilation of the All Japan 2000, 2001, 2002, and 2003, I believe. But I'm trying to... Okay, let me see. It'll probably be okay to do this. Dang it. Okay. Okay. Melvin, welcome to the chat. Welcome to the stream. Thank you for passing by. Okay, so are you guys not getting sound here? And now you guys are not getting video either here, huh? Wait. Okay, right here. I'm gonna put this here. So, okay, so let me tell you a little bit of what's going on. This is my first practice that I had in Greece. And what I wanted to do today, I kind of wanted to talk a little bit about watching yourself in your videos, right? How to promote progress in your kendo while at the same time, you know, watching, trying to watch your videos critically. So you want to make sure some of my recommendations when it comes to watching your videos, it's look for the positive, because a lot of times, I mean, it's easier to see the negative. It's easier to see all the bad habits that you have, all the bad things all the bad habits you created. So in order, research show that if you start seeing the instances where the things that you're working for happens, you are more likely to start replicating those things in the future. So one thing that I like to do on watching my videos, I like to watch my videos at least twice. And on the first go, I try to go with that mentality, trying to find out some of the things that I'm doing good, because it's really easy for me to kind of just start saying, oh, I'm doing this bad, I'm doing this bad, I'm doing this bad. And you start getting kind of like a bad vibe about your own videos and about your own kendo. So it's not the point of that. You want to stay motivated. You want to stay focused on doing what needs to be done in order to progress. And the second time I go through it, I don't see it as let me look for the bad stuff, but I'm saying, I'm to myself, let me look for what some of the things that I would like to be improving on based on what I'm working on. Because, for example, in here, as I'm telling you guys, I'm working on the communication with my opponent. So I'm being hyper focused on that. Of course, I'm being focused also right now on Kiai and Kiken Taichi, especially because I want to be taking my test. I want to, you know, my posture and all this stuff. So, but if I were to be looking for example, at every time I'll get hit or I don't make a hit, I think that will probably be detrimental to what I'm working for, because then I'm taking away attention for the things I already told to myself that I need to be working on, to then be looking at something that I wasn't even focusing on at that time. And I'm giving this as a very broad example because, for example, here, I'm trying to go with a mentality, I don't care that I'm gonna get hit, even though I think at some points I do care I'm gonna get hit, so maybe I'll just be hesitant and not go and stuff like that. So just to keep that in mind. Yeah, Melvin, thank you very much for passing by. I really appreciate you being here. So what I want to do with you guys is I want to start playing the video. I want to go at it with you, maybe seeing, I'll tell you a little bit about what's going on in my mind as I do it and stuff like that. Let me see something real quick. So I feel like, okay, I don't know, for some reason this thing is not getting sound. Is there no sound there? No, hold on, the sound, it's, oh my god, this thing is, oh my god, oh my goodness, oh my goodness. Why is this doing this to me right now? Come on. Oh my god. Let me see what happens if I do this. Okay, guys, I guess I'll do this right now without... Oh my god. Can you guys tell I'm frustrated right now? Okay. I figured it out. I think I have it. Maybe, maybe not. Okay, I think now. There you go, yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna go back to the beginning of it. So I am, just so you guys know, I am in the right corner of the, I am on the right corner of the back. So right now I'm hidden, and I'll start playing the first keiko. As you see, I feel like watching this back, I'm wasting a lot of opportunities that I had. I'm also trying not to be the person right now where if I feel like he's gonna hit me, don't dodge, just kind of like allow myself to get hit. I think that's useful, you know, to kind of give also feedback to the other person. In the sense that, like, I admit that, you know, they caught me by surprise, or I wasn't ready or something. So that way they don't get discouraged as well. Okay, so that was the first keiko, and I wanted to just go back a little bit. And sorry, because I got it from my video. And okay, I wanted to go back a little bit just so you guys, just so I tell you a little bit about, you know, what I think I'm doing. So I think I had a really good intention at starting with a man, where and let's watch a little bit in slow motion. So I started, you can't see it, but I moved in slightly. I'm trying to move in slightly, and then I went in forward. I think I did that pretty decent, and I had follow through on it. I went straight, I didn't curve. I really enjoy the fact that I actually performed that from the get-go. But then you see right here, I start kind of getting close, and then stop. And I should have gone a little bit earlier, I think. Right? Oh my God, this is too much. Okay, so let's see. So like as I'm coming in close, I feel like right now maybe I'm paying attention. Maybe I'm looking for my opponent opening, trying to get that reaction. But then right here, I feel like at this point already, I am now waiting. Now I'm just hesitating, where my opponent hasn't really done much, and I am not taking advantage of that. And I should have gone way earlier for that kote, I think. But because I'm reacting now at this point, I'm not really being proactive. I think it took me a quarter of a second to get that understanding that there was an opening there. Okay, so let's see. Let's keep watching a little bit. I wished at that moment I would have had more push with my left leg in order to bring me forward. Tobias, you say that you think that the kote was in time? Yeah, I think I hit the kote in time, but what I'm saying is that I feel that I had the opportunity sooner to go for it, but it took me a quarter of a second to actually start the momentum going. So in a way, I depended on kind of like my speed over my timing. I don't know if that makes sense. So again, I'm splitting hairs a little bit with this. I am, you know, I'm glad that I went for the kote and I hit the timing, but I'm saying I think I could have done better. And listen, guys, this is the big part when it comes about being a martial artist, that I guess we're so critical of, you know, how we see things and how analyze our own stuff, that yeah, I think it's important sometimes that we pat ourselves in the back over just criticizing so much for ourselves. Tobias, you said the best opportunity will be that in that moment your opponent raises hands, then the impact should have happened, right? Because let me back it up a little bit. I think you're right, because you see, like, if I would anticipate it, I would have hit it, I think, right here. Is that what you're saying, Tobias? But I didn't anticipate it. I reacted, and because I reacted, I came in a little bit after. So I don't know. Tell me what you guys think. And that's a big part that I'm trying to work on myself. Anticipation over reaction. So Shen, you say that you think that timing depends on your speed, on the speed of your waza. I mean, I guess your timing will depend on your speed of your waza, but I think timing has to do also with anticipating the opening. So in a sense, I feel that I didn't anticipate. I guess I was too focused on everything going around that I didn't anticipate. I reacted to the opening. I don't know if that makes sense. Jan, so you're saying that you agreed. For Shiai, this kote might have been sufficient, but for Shinsa, I could have started earlier, right? Okay, so at least I'm looking at things in the right eyes, I think. That what the posture would have been better too. Yeah, right? Because I would have had a good extension on my kote, would have had a very nice straightforward kote if I'd have hit it, as Tobias said, with anticipation. I feel that here, yeah, I got the kote, but who cares? I didn't anticipate it. That's what I'm working for, I guess. That's what I'm trying to say, Shen. I'm not devaluing your comments, because yes, I think your timing depends on your speed, but I'm also working a little bit on anticipation over reaction. It's just a personal thing right now. No, don't worry, Jan, don't worry. I think most of the times I understand what you're trying to say. Now, I do have to say, guys, I'm very ashamed of this, and I posted this because I told to myself I was going to post it, but, and it bothers me every time I watch the video. Can you guys see my mouse? Hold on. Can you guys? Oh, you cannot see my mouse, but on my Tenagui, guys, it's like a little corner comes out once in a while, and it just bothers me. That being said, it's stopping at this moment. I feel that here I'm coming already in too close without any pressure, and that is what I'm trying to work in here. I'm trying to push myself into, at this point, have had already made an opportunity. But I'm stopping. You see, like I'm cutting the energy, and then I do that kote, which I think it was late as well. Maybe I hit it. It wasn't hard enough though to get ippon, I think. But you see there, I was just waiting. I'm just stopping. I'm stopping. And a big part of this, I realize this, is because I'm thinking too much. Hands down. I do want to watch that one real quick. Let's see. So coming in. Now I have to say though that in this practice I'm being more compact on my footwork than I've been in another of my practices. But here even I feel that, you see, I reacted. I could have made the opening. I could have made the decision to make the opening like right about there, but I didn't. I even waited for the person for my partner to bring the sword down, and then just to make the decision. Jan, what grades my opponent? I don't know. I'm sorry. I would not. I know that the next person I practice with, he is Sandan, but this gentleman I do not know. But anyways, we watch it. Okay, well, we're gonna rotate regardless. We're not gonna watch the whole video either because the next fight or the last fight, I'm kind of like too close, so you really can't see anything. Now, I have to say this. I feel that here I'm going down into Sonkyo a little bit too close, but on my defense, I have to say that over here, like at the, oh, you cannot see my mouse, but towards the edge of the screen, that was pretty much the end of the dojo. So it was a little bit tight, but I should have done like maybe shorter steps. Shen, you said waiting for the clue that the opponent has made up their mind to attack. So yeah, I guess you can say it like that. Waiting for the clue that the opponent has made up their mind to attack. Yeah, so I personally, the vocabulary I use, the words that I use is I try to anticipate when the opponent, yes, has made the decision to attack. So yeah, like you're not wrong. Yeah, and she was saying there doesn't seem to come a lot of pressure from him. If you prepare for the Dan exam, it would be good if you could practice with your peers. Man, it would be good if I could practice with my peers at any time. But I will have to admit, man, I'll take any practice I can get. Right now, I'm not picky at all. I would love to, but I have no one around here right now that it's that it's accessible right now. That it's my Dan or above. Yeah, trust me, I'm craving. I would like to go. Like, I'm in Miami right now, so I know there's people in Tampa and Orlando, which are like about 3.5 hours, 4 hours away. So I would like to go give them a visit, but it's obviously not that easy, especially right now because timing, people are not going to practice and so on. So I have to really coordinate it. So yeah, I would love to. But the next person that I'm going to practice with, he is Sanda. How do you guys feel about that? How you guys, because I'm going to say this. I was there as a guest. So he came in and he's super nice. He actually, showed me this around the city. It's super good. I got to meet him the day before. So it was like we were friendly already. But he came saying like, oh, hold on a second. And then he came and pulled off the himo out of my, I guess my himo was like on top of my man. So to me at that moment was a little bit like, whoa, what's going on? What's happening? Like you're kind of like invading my space. So it was a little bit confusing. But what would you have done? Would you have done the same thing with someone you're friendly, or would you say like, oh, you're man himo? Because normally what I do, and I don't know if this is and the reason why I'm asking is because I'd like to know your opinion when if this is rude or not, whatever. Because normally what I do is I just tell them like, hey, you have your himo right there, like fix your himo. But I understand that it can also be seen as rude. So in that case, would you let it go? Would you like just don't worry about it? Would you tell them? Would you grab it? Like yeah, let me know. Normally I say like, hey, like fix your himo or fix your tenogui, like I should have right there. Even though it's very little, but still it bothers me. Yeah, Tobias, so you do the same, right? You never touch the bogu or the shinai of other people. Yeah, facts. And one thing that I did in one of my practices in Greece that I should not necessarily have done that way. I should have been a little bit more vigilant about it is that I did a waza and then I noticed that there was a splinter coming out of my shinai. So, I made visual contact and I said, give me a second. And then I pulled off, I pulled off the thing. Normally, I almost never pulled off a splinter out of my shinai. But, I think I should have, but I did it just because, I didn't have that many more shinai, so I knew it was going to break regardless, so I just pulled it out. I pulled it out, make sure that everything was fine, put the splinter inside of my second, and then kept going. But I think I should have, just raised my hand, made a little bit more visual about it to stop the match or the fight. Jan, is this the first time that someone did that with you? It happens there all the times. I mean, they won't tie for you, but something like this for sure. Yeah, and that's what I'm asking. It's not necessarily the first time that has happened with me, but normally my interaction is they tell me, you have your hemo, fix your hemo. It's not something that they will come and do it. So, I know. To me, it just doesn't feel natural. That's what it is. I don't want to see uncomfortable. It just doesn't feel natural for somebody to come grab my stuff. And again, we're using this as an example to discuss. I'm not saying that what he did is wrong, whatever. If you think it was or it's not, okay, I understand. It's your point of view. I'm just asking. So I'm not saying it's necessarily wrong. It just didn't make me feel that it was natural. I didn't feel like, I don't want to say they were uncomfortable, but it just definitely didn't seem like, I don't know. Right? I don't know. It's hard for me to explain because it's not really bad. It's like right now, just by talking about it, I feel like I'm making a bigger deal than what it really is, but just saying. Steven, personally, you have had both happen to you. You never thought of it as rude. Yeah, you see, and that's part. I don't know if there's like an etiquette or something that says you should not touch the bogu of your peers or something. I don't know. But I get it. He was trying to be nice, and I'm not shaming him or anything like that for it. I kind of just wanted to take the time to discuss it with you guys just to see, your thoughts and, educate ourselves a little bit. I want to know the ways of the world, I guess. Okay, anyways. I feel there at that moment. Okay, I guess I didn't do what I said I needed to do, right? I need to look at the positive first. But I have to say that at that moment, I didn't feel that I had sutemi. I didn't come in with very good energy. And I kind of cut myself short midway. See, at this point, I feel that I am not controlling the distance. I am happy that I am allowing myself, if I feel like he had the opening, for example, with that, I went for the kote, he hit the man. I acknowledged it. I always like to acknowledge when somebody with me, gets a good ippon. So I feel like maybe sometimes they, I don't know. It's just, I just like to think about it like it's good. I like the fact that I came in from that and I didn't bounce back. I had a good follow through, but I felt like I was too close as I started. Let me watch that kote for a second there. So again, I feel like here, you see, I'm putting pressure forward, But the more I push my right leg, now I'm leaving my left leg behind, right? And yes, I am very close, which I feel that I could have had a little bit of better distance. And to this point, I can't really tell you right now if I anticipated or reacted. I feel that at that point, I remember, for what I remember in that moment, I was feeling that I was coming in forward. And I was able to come in for the kote. I would have liked to, with this type of person where he is coming in so close and I'm allowing him to come so close, I feel like I should have come in from further away, and as he's trying to close the distance where he feels comfortable, anticipate that into an attack. I feel that as I was going into the fight, there were points where he was feeling threatened by me coming in, so he kept making the distance out. And he will come in close to feel comfortable, but I wasn't really taking advantage of the fact that I knew he was coming in to get comfortable, but I didn't really take advantage of that. I was just kind of like trying to get into that position and then trying to get a reaction from there, which I feel I shouldn't have. I should have been putting the pressure as he was coming in, whether you make him go back or react. I feel like that's where my opportunity should have been, and that's what I kind of want to keep in mind when I practice with somebody like this, that they're always trying to get close because that's how they feel comfortable. Tobias, so did you consider doing shiai for preparation instead of only jigeiko? Of course, and we actually did that after this, but my camera died. Actually, we did another round of keiko where I had put the camera in another angle, but that footage is completely useless because I didn't have a tripod, so I had like a little... I'll show you guys. Where is it? Okay, it's like a 3-legged thing that I can screw under my camera, so it was so close to the floor that the camera catch the floor as the focus point, so none of that is useful. Then after that, we did shiai. So yes, I did think about it. And granted, mind you, this was a practice where I was a guest, so I would do what they asked me to do. So I didn't. The sensei knew that I was, I'm preparing myself for Godan, so that's why he made that arrangement for that. But yeah, normally when I visit a dojo, I just go with the flow. Shen, that man has a big back swing. You're talking about the man that I just hit the kote against right here? Is that the one you're talking about? Jan, this was in Greece. Yeah, this way, which I'm going to say this, practicing in Japan, I was shown how big men can be used in jigeiko. I got scored many times with big men in jigeiko. It's very fun and interesting to watch because it's such an awkward timing for the people that actually do it right, that it's worth trying out. It's worth replicating. It's worth studying because it's such a different type of man. And every 90% of the time that it was done against me, which I can probably count with both of my hands how many times somebody did that to me in Japan. 90% of the times they got it, just because they have gotten me used to a rhythm, and all of a sudden like they changed it. Like Teramoto Sensei did that to me. Like out of the 10 times that I got hit with that, I think 3 of them were from him. So yeah, it's if you do it right, and it feels so awkward getting hit by it because it's like it comes with so much speed and force, momentum. And you're like, okay, I have time, but I don't. It's like it's weird. It's weird. It's cool though. It's cool. So did I answer everybody's question? Oh, you guys do see my mouse. Okay. Good, 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 good. Yeah, so, okay, good. Um, I hope I answer everybody's questions when it comes to this part. Hold on, let me just see if this is working. Okay, it is not working, so forget it. I'll just do this manually while I change for the other video. What was I gonna say? Yeah, so that's one of the biggest things that I like to do when it comes to watching myself. It's looking first for the positive, and then going off over. Okay, so when I watch myself in videos, I try to first do it as soon as possible after the practice, because some of the stuff that I'm talking about today, that I remember the mentality and like all the stuff, it's because I told that to myself right after the practice, right? So I did it. I watched this video for myself like within 4 or 5 hours after I finished with the practice, and I went and I tried to remember some of the stuff that I was thinking in that moment, and because I said it out loud to myself, I'm able to remember those things. I don't know if that makes sense. So that's one of the ways that I can share with you something, a little bit of what was going on through my mind at that moment, even though there was way more that I share. So I like to also go for the positive and then the things that I feel that need improvement. So with that, what I do, just to be kind of like in my field of work, I try to develop my own treatment plan, right? Using what I'm seeing within the things that I feel that need improvement, and the things, the advice that I'm being told by, whether it's a sensei, my peers, and so on, some of the things that people are seeing from me, in order to then focus and actually try to get some type of measurable results, right? And by measurable, that means that I can start in the next time I record myself, seeing if I'm doing those things. To me, that has been very, very essential when it comes to improving, especially when I haven't had complete guidance, like on a daily or every practice basis. Because even before the whole Corona thing started, I was doing going to the dojo by myself, spending a lot of times with the dummy. So I would do stuff like this. I will record myself with the dummy, and try to keep in mind some of the things that sensei was telling me, or like other peers were telling me, and the things that I feel that I needed development. I started developing that treatment plan, right? So on top of that, it also works as a way to share it with another sensei and see like, hey, can you help me out with this? Which is what kindly Griva sensei did with me, sat down with me and like kind of looked at some of the stuff that I'm doing and see how can we make it better. Bottom line though is that do not beat yourself over not having good kendo, not doing good kendo. As long as you're willing to keep working on it and keep improving on yourself, that's what your main motivation should be. That's what you should use some motivation. Keep getting better and knowing that maybe you're not gonna fix everything at once, but if you fix one thing, it can also lead to fixing some other stuff, because a lot of the stuff are very interrelated, right? For example, with me, is that if I fix my footwork, it will help me improve my impact, because as somebody said in the Discord, some of the times that I was hitting, maybe I'm hitting too light because I have my legs behind me. So if I work on my feet, on my work, on my hips, on throwing my body first, then it's gonna help me with the impact. Will I need more work on my impact later? Maybe. But focusing on that one element first will help me come up to the next one. Thank you, Tobias. Thank you for complimenting my advice. You're saying that you think we can't be like Nishimura senseis, but what we can do is doing keiko with an honest heart and mind. Listen, if you guys ever catch me not doing that, please just like beat me up, even if it's outside of kendo. Because, and that's one of the things that I like about Kendo when it comes to Jigeiko, right? That we fight, we give our best, and we hope that the person that we're doing that with is giving us an honest and like an honest heart and mind. Because it really sucks doing Keiko with somebody that has arrogance, that has like an attitude. And I understand that sometimes being competitive can be interpreted as that. It's funny, and this is something that I caught myself doing where I was on my trip. It's like I would smile when I would either get a good hit, like a really good hit, or more often I would smile when I would get hit in a very nice way. I think I smiled for my hit like once throughout my whole trip. And it's not really like smiling, like it's like a little bit like, like my face, I can notice my face changing, right? But there were many times where I got hit. I was like, oh, that was good. Oh, and although, I'm happy for myself because I'm not being arrogant to the fact that I just got hit. In a way, kind of complimented myself. I pat myself on the back for that, for not being arrogant. But in another way, it also kind of takes the mind away from what we're doing. So I felt like I needed to catch that on myself and not do that as often. Recognize that I got hit, and that's why I told you, like, I like to acknowledge when somebody gives me a good hit, a good ippon. Even sometimes when I feel that they should have hit me because they made the opening, but they didn't. I like to sometimes acknowledge those too. But I did catch myself kind of like even celebrating for my partner. And I feel like celebrating might be the bad word, like the wrong word, but it's about, like, I feel like that takes the mind away from what we're doing. I feel like I should have put more attentiveness to that. And I think that habit I started developing from trying to like motivate beginners practicing with me, because I feel that I have to, like for somebody new, I feel like keeping them motivated that they're doing a good job. It's important. So I always try to, when they do something good, I try to immediately say, okay, that was a good one. That was a good one. Remember what you did. Do it again. So maybe that, I don't know. I'll have to think about it, but maybe I'm thinking too much about it. Anyways, yeah, I would like to always do good Kendo with an honest heart and mind. On your comment about being like Nishimura, I think that, for example, Nishimura has a very specific body type, and his Kendo fits his body type very, very well. So I feel that although we can take techniques from Nishimura, we can work on our Kendo through, getting that vocabulary up from Nishimura's technique and so on. I don't think many people's Kendo will look like Nishimura. Not even in Japan. I think for him, specifically, his own body type, his own Kendo is like very specific to his body type. I don't know. What do you guys think? What do you guys think about that? Oh my god, I just closed the program. Sorry. Let me try to open it up again, and let me open up the next video I wanted to show, guys. Okay, funny enough. Okay. See. Okay, we're here. Let me see if I can make this a little bit bigger so you guys can see a little bit more of this and not see so much of my face, I guess. Okay, again, this is a compilation of All Japan championships from 2000 to 2003. I will leave the link to this full video up in the Discord. So if you haven't joined the Discord already, you can join it through the link that's, like in the comments. It's like this link right here. You can just click it and be part of it. just because we have great conversations. For a matter of fact, Shen has been bringing a lot of awesome topics into the chat. Actually, yeah, everybody's been bringing up some good topics, and I'm happy that everybody it's being so friendly, in such a good community that I wish we could all get together at some point. But yeah, plans for the future. Anyways, one of the main reasons why I chose this video specifically, because I was thinking, listen, there was a very good show of Kendo in the 2000, in all of this all Japan's, but the 2000 specifically I think is iconic because it was the Miyazaki and Eiga, and I think that's their level of Kendo and how memorable they have been in the past 20 years. I think it's incredible. I actually wanted to ask this opinion from you guys from the chat, is that do you think any kenshi that it's up right now or in the past few years, do you think that they are as memorable as these guys have been, or they're going to be as memorable as these guys have been? What do they need to be that memorable? What makes these guys so special? I want to know your opinion. I want to know your thoughts. I have my opinion, but I want to know yours. Okay, let me forward a little bit into the matches. So Eiga is on the red right now. And I thought it would be fun, since me working on anticipation, we can look at this and see if we can catch some of anticipation or reaction type of thing. How's that, Jan? How do you know him? He's from Osaka, right? Oh, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. 宮崎の高千穂高校から大阪体育大学を出まして、現在大阪府警に勤務している向こう側白が佐藤博光です。27歳。小手を攻めていったのが北海道の映画直樹です。北海道の東海大4校から東海大学を出ました。1回戦は熊本の高波、そして2回戦石川の角田、3回戦埼玉の染谷と破って準々決勝進出。What's Kobun Geiko? He's still, Sato Sensei is still in the, what's it called, in the men head senseis for the Osaka police, right? Ooh, sorry, I was talking when we were doing that. Let's watch that one more time. Oh, listen, that was a very risky moment for Eiga in the sense that the Tsuki was very close, but I feel that maybe if Sato Sensei would have gone Tsuki men, would have probably gone the Ippon there. But yeah, Eiga had a very good reaction on that. Jan, so you're saying that, okay, no, hold on. He's the guy, Jan, you're saying that he's the guy that introduced you to the Tokuren and you drove him from Hamburg to Frankfurt? Yeah, he's pretty cool. He's very nice. You think he's one of the senseis there? He's too young to be retired? Yeah, he's there. I know he's there. I met him and he actually helped me a lot with my kamae while we were over there. Tobias, you said you hope you wrote it right. Kobun Geiko is a certain Keiko method and it goes like this. Shidashi and Motodachi doing Jigeiko. Okay, I'll be looking forward to your whole thing. I'm not gonna read it until you finish.
打ちだと思います。
手元の時計まもなく2分というところでまず北海道の映画直樹が1本先取しました。2本目試合時間は5分です。赤の映画直樹は今年3月の世界選手権個人戦のチャンピオンです。赤の映画がまず面を1本先取しています。
I really enjoy their ability to change the shiai angle to whether attack or deflect. It's very interesting. And those mans are mean. Sato Sensei has a mean man. It's no holdback. Oh, that kote was. Oh. Wow. That's one of the problems of being so close sometimes that some, like for the kote, like you're so restricted. Oh. I wish they had like slow motion right after. Theo, if you can remind me how I said that I go back like 10 seconds into the VLC, that would be awesome. I think it's one of the little arrows. Wow. Let me see. Yeah, it's like this. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to go frame by frame. And Tobias, I'll read your comment about Kobun Gecko in a second. Let me just watch this in slow motion. So frame by frame. So he approaches, goes back. There you see, like I feel like he gave pressure and then Sato Sensei replied. Ega gave pressure. Oh wait, this is not the same. Oh sorry, my bad. How anticlimactic was that? Okay, so in here, Ega is coming in forward. Oh, this is still not it. I think it's like over here. Okay, let's watch it. So you see how interesting it is? Like he went in as he was coming for man, right? But he ended up just switching that small angle and then going over for the Kaeshido. Interesting, very interesting. You see, so he wasn't waiting for it, and that's one of the things that I really enjoy, and that's some of the things that I would like to replicate for myself. It's especially for this type of waza where the attack has to come to you, right? He's not just standing there. He's putting that pressure to come in, to cause the person to react, and then you go forward. Shift left or alt left to go back a few seconds on VLC. Shift left. Okay, awesome. Thank you. All left. Okay, so 10 seconds. Good. Thank you, man. Thank you. Okay, so Tobias, you're saying the first signal, uchikomi. Okay, the first signal, uchikomi from Shidashi, then after a certain time, next signals and mente atari, then next signal, kakarigeko, and final signal, kirikaeshi, then change the roles. Okay, so it's kind of like a rotation of drills throughout. Oh, that's pretty cool. That's pretty interesting. I didn't know it had a name. Kobun Gecko. That's actually pretty cool. I done it the way I done it is like I do jigeko, kakarigeko, jigeko, kakarigeko, jigeko, kakarigeko. Or if you want to make it like interesting, it's like you do jigeko and then loser does kakarigeko. So it's exactly that one. So I don't know if those have names or not, but I think they're interesting. They're fun. Way to keep you competitive in a healthy way, I guess, and also make sure that you push yourself.
連取しまして大阪の佐藤を破りました。準決勝進出です。これがまずその1本目。はい。
You see, if Sato Sensei, I think, would have done like an extra wasa right there, I feel like he would have gone, maybe not even gone the ippon, but definitely gotten out safer.
左赤の木原は和歌山県立田辺高校の教員、そして向こう側立花は九州電力に勤める会社員、教員と会社員同士という、警察官が非常に強いこの剣道界においては珍しい顔合わせになりますよね。そうですね。
特に社会人がここまで上がってきたというのは、最近ない傾向でございますね。で立花選手も学生時代は、活躍した選手でございます。
同志社大学で、全日本学生選手権で優勝した経験もあります。
Oh, that's a very mean approach. He came in, he gave. Hold on. Okay, yeah, let's watch it with the slow motion that's over here. Oh wait, what happened? I thought that was. Okay. What? Hey, how back? Okay, there you go. So his opponent is going back, and then Tachibana, it's coming in closer, takes control of the shinai over, and then within the same motion, he comes in for the men. Now that's one of the things that sometimes I feel that people tend to get wrong, is that they try to get that control of the sword before they go into the distance. So here, he actually didn't do that. He stepped in, and as he stepped in, he started taking control of the shinai. And then with the momentum he had, he was able to go in for the men. But if you try to do that and then you move, then you'll be too late. I think the timing for those type of wasas is very, very important. And he tried it again, and he almost got it, I think, right there. Oh, there's somebody else. Sorry. That's Miyazaki, right? Yeah.
白が宮崎、赤が深谷です。
Yeah, so Miyazaki is on the white, and it's he has such like that the ability to go around is just so special to him, I think. Hold on, let's watch that in slow motion. Wait, oh. Oh, he was a little bit deep, right? But just the fact that he had such a good timing on that, obviously the Kiken Taichi he had, and that seriousness after, like the pressure of selling the point and keeping the point, taking the point after, I think that contributed to the fact that he missed, but they still gave him the ippon. Yeah, Shen, that elbow was a. Jen, how do you say elbow in Japanese? Because it'll be fun to say that. Then elbow in Japanese and then waza.
この辺のところはもう目白押しだったんですけど、見事にこの勝ち抜いてきた石原君ですね。かなりのその芯と力があるんじゃないかなって思いますね。
京都府警の高橋秀明、今年のその世界選手権団体戦で大将も務めた実力者の高橋、あるいは山形の教員の世界選手権で過去2位に入ったことのある武井、こういったあたりがいたんですが、そのブロックを勝ち上がってきたのが左側赤の岡山の石原です。また2本上がった。東京原田の突き。
Thank you, Shan. So it'll be like Hijiwaza. Okay. There's something interesting here that I wanted to kind of show off real quick. Hold on. And it's right here. You see how he comes in, and look at White. Look, after he blocks the attack, I really like the attentiveness and his self-awareness when it comes to his body positioning, because he's able to catch himself, like push his opponent out to a side, and now he is in a position of advantage. He didn't take action in here, but he didn't take action also because his opponent was really quick at coming back, right? But it's putting himself in a point of I don't want to say superiority, but he's in a point where he's going to be having the advantage over his opponent, and I think it's very interesting. Now let's watch the Tsuki. He almost kind of came, like he kind of like approached him sideways before he pulled the trigger on that. Let's see. You see, like, as of right now, like, he's going here, like, the foot positioning of this guy is a little bit awkward, right? Because I'm guessing he's moving. And it almost looked like he switched midway, because he was kind of going this way, but then he switched down to where he's going. And he was able to catch him in the Tsuki right there. It's very amazing. I think this is very amazing. Steven, elbow and chin waza can win. Elbow and neck waza can win championships sometimes. Yeah, I guess so.
第48回全日本剣道選手権です。福岡の初出場、立花義人4段25歳。神奈川の宮崎正弘7段。さあ3連覇に向かって。
So at this point, this guy is Yondan against Nanadan, right? Right now. Very interesting. Miyazaki is very so sharp on his motion, right? And I think I'm being biased because I know he's going to be in the finals regardless. But he's not changing his kendo based on his opponent, bringing a different type of energy, right? Oh wow, that was very quick throw of that. I feel like Miyazaki, well, I don't feel like, I know Miyazaki's really good with that whole, like, control over maybe like Harai and men. Tobias, thank you for passing by, man. Thank you very much. Please just stay safe as well. Really enjoy having you here. Thank you very much. Jan, same thing. Thank you for passing by. I really appreciate you, man. Actually, Tobias did the Debana, right? Because he went before you did. Oh yeah, you're okay. You're acknowledging that. Sorry. I missed that. Ah, Debana, goodbye. You gotta be quicker next time, man. Ooh.
立花が非常にこう積極的に出ていってますね。
そうですね。非常に積極的に勝負してますね。素晴らしいことだと思いますね。
手前白の宮崎は37歳、立花は25歳というこの両者の対戦です。
So Miyazaki's 37 at this point, and the other guy is 25. It's very interesting how, you know, like they're different of the level, different of the age, and their repertoire of technique. Oh, he has such a compact man. Let's. I hope that there is a slow motion. Hold on. If not, I'm gonna have to do a slow motion myself. But let's see. Because we were talking about last week of how, you know, yeah, there you go. You know, to get very good impact, you need to have a good tenouchi. You have to have a good motions with your wrist, the proper motion with your arms, but your feet have to be in place. So let's watch this a little bit frame by frame. He was so quick. You see, and this is what I'm talking about, not cutting the energy midway. He approached them, but he kind of kept that momentum forward, that intention forward. And then look how much out of his head he lifted off the sword. And from here, he literally just extended forward and came down with such force into the man. And Shen, I think you were talking about it last week, you know, like about people that tilt their heads. Is it ippon or is it not? And here it's kind of what I was referring to. I don't remember if it was you, and I'm sorry if it wasn't you, but this is what I was referring to, that if the person tilts their head back like this, it's ippon, right? It's considered ippon. When they tilt it to the side, it's a little bit trickier, unless they make full contact and so on. But when they tilt it to the side and they do not make contact, no ippon. But here, obviously, he got the ippon.
宮崎と戦う決勝の相手を決める準決勝第2試合、東京警視庁の原田悟、そして北海道警の映画直樹。
Look how straight he comes in, right? His posture so straight.
準決勝第2試合、試合開始です。
I like the Keisho's guy's movement left and right and control the sword. Normally, I feel like A gets a little bit more up in your face, but right now, I guess he's being a little bit... Oh, okay. There he is. And there he is. Yeah, like he's... Maybe he was pretending to be somebody else at that moment, but he switched it up so quick.
映画君はですね、オーソドックスは杉下ですね、勝負をするわけですね。原田君どちらか銃の剣道って言ったらおかしいんですが、非常に柔らかさがあるですね、剣道をするんですね。果たしてこれがどちらがどういうふうにこうその捉えるかということですね。はい。映画君はやはり世界選手権で優勝してますし。
Oh wow! You seen that? That even though Harada kind of looked like he was coming in for that man, I mean he could have gotten that man. Ega came in with that, like I don't want to say makiwaza, like because it wasn't really makiwaza, more like osae type of thing, where he's trying to control, like knocking down maybe harai, maybe a maki. Right? Watch. You see, like he goes around, and look how sharp and quick he's able to change that angle and close in for that kote right there. And he made the man hit so close to him that obviously makes it like invalid. You see how sharp he goes from one technique to another? One of the things we're talking about, you know, with the small man last week, it's that whole point of not pulling with your bicep. it's all the work of the left hand and Tenouchi with
まず
both
宮
hands,
崎
obviously.
正宏が3連覇に向けて決勝進出を決めています。その対戦相手を決める準決勝第2試合、誰が宮崎を破るのか。
Oh,
連
wow.
開指導というところですね。相手が返してしないで返してですね。それでどう打ったということですね。連開指導。
Hold on. Let's watch that execution because it's very interesting how Ega Sensei is doing those kaishidos because he's putting a lot of pressure, and he's not just putting a lot of pressure with his body, he's putting pressure with a technique. You see, okay, hold on, let me maybe go a little bit back. Okay, so from here, he's in Kamae, he's closing the distance. You know, at this point, he kind of recovers because his opponent is kind of pushing him forward. He's, you know, he tapped the shinai kind of to get the attention away from him because he feels the guy, he wants to come in, but he hasn't really pulled the trigger. So look at that. He throws a kote, and then the guy's like, okay, chill. Right? He went. It's interesting because it's almost like he's throwing a man, but they're transitioning that into angling it to go for the kaeshido. See that? It's like he's definitely, that's very interesting. I need to look at it, and hopefully I can find more videos where he is getting that from different angles, because I would like to see it from a different angle as well, not only from kind of like from behind, but also kind of a little bit sideways, because it almost looks like he is coming in for a man, but as he's coming in for the man, he's kind of like cashing the shinai on an angle of his opponent and then transitioning that into a kaeshido. So maybe kind of like, not necessarily throwing the shinai like this way, kind of like throwing out sideways, then going around for the kaeshido. The reason why I find it very interesting is because normally the timing for kaeshido is very interesting because the fumikomi normally is at the moment where you receive the shinai, not necessarily when you do the do, right? Because the way the footwork is, then normally when you do the do is when you have to push in with your hips and your left leg, and the fumikomi pulls you forward, but the landing of the right foot normally tends to be closer to when you catch the shinai. So by doing this type of man like this, he's landing with that timing, but he's delaying his left leg and using the left leg to create power to get the kaeshido, to go around. This is very interesting. I don't think I've seen this done like this before. Let me watch it one more time if you guys don't mind. And, oh, okay, hold on, I'm in the wrong program. Oops. What's going on? Okay. So, let's break it down a little bit, like, okay. So you see he engages the left foot. Oh wait, no, he hasn't started yet. Okay, he throws that kote to get him to come back. He re-engages the left foot, goes into kamae. He brings it forward. Okay, he re-engages the left foot a little bit in the back, maybe because he felt like in case the person was coming, he could respond to the threat. Then from here, he re-engages the left foot forward. He pushes into that man, and the fumikomi, granted, it's hard to see it with this resolution, but look, okay, kote, and then he hits the man with the fumikomi, right? But then immediately he uses the left hand to go around and use the left foot to push him forward. Let me know if you think I'm making the right observation at this point, but I think this is very interesting approach to hitting the kashido, because definitely makes it way less reactive and makes it more into making the opportunity yourself by going in forward and challenging your opponent. One of the things that I was talking today with with the person I practice with, it's that I'm sure you probably heard the expression throwaway waza, where you do a waza kind of just to get a reaction for the opponent. And I think that is a good example of that, because he threw that man waza there. I don't know necessarily if it was a man, but interestingly enough, when I was explaining that, when I was talking about this whole throwaway waza concept, I was saying that you gotta throw it with the intention of getting an ippon, right? Because it happened today when we were practicing that I did that, and I actually ended up landing it as an ippon. So in this case, if his opponent would have not done that man, I'm sure Ega would have taken the man. But since it did, he went in and he immediately transitioned to the kashido, which I think it's Ega. I think that's what makes these kenshi very memorable, and that up 20 years after, we're still talking about them, right? Amazing. I think it's amazing.
どうですね。はい、面返し指導というところですね。相手が面きたのを返してしないで返してですね。
Wait. What did he say with the? Hold on. The guy I think described the waza. Let me see.
どうですね。はい、面返し指導というところですね。相手が面きたのを返してしないで返してですね。それでどう打ったということですね。
I am not sure. I would like to ask Jan later to kind of translate what he said there, but it sounded like he would have said like I men, and then from there he did kaeshi and then do, but I cannot. My Japanese is not there, so I'm sorry, guys.
返し指導見事に決まりました。
試合開始から3分40秒、まず映画の1本銅が決まりました。映画がまず1本選手。
His body posture is so pristine.
左、赤が東京の原田、右、白、北海道の映画まず1本選手。勝てば映画は初の決勝進出、原田は2回目の決勝進出になります。手元の時計ですが試合時間すでに4分を超えています。さあこのまま映画が逃げ切るか、原田が追いつくか。
Ooh. Those type of exchanges to me kind of shows a lot of that attentiveness to the fight, not letting go of that pressure.
牽制が効いてるもんですから、なかなかそれを外すことができないんですね。打ち込むことができないということですね。
Oh, wow.
激しい打ち合いです。さあ残り時間。
Okay, guys, I think that deserves a watch. And please let me know if I'm boring you with it going back like this. But this moment, I feel like this moment deserves a point of study. Listen, he went for a katatetsuki. He missed it, right? But his opponent kind of reacted forward, right? Like he let go, he pushed out the shinai, and he started going forward. Now, Eiga tried to close the distance there in order, I guess his opponent kind of tried to do tsuki as well. He tried to close the distance to not get hit and went for a kaeshi man. Maybe it wasn't kaeshi man because he didn't really receive but he went for the man. But then it's just this exchange right here. It's that level of attention to the situation. They're not giving up. They really want it. They really want it. I want to make sure I have that on my Kendo.
時間です
Whether it's in Keiko, Shiai, or Shinsai, just that level of attention to what's happening in that moment, that you're devoting your time to the match. I think it's essential. I think it's a point that a lot of us need to develop for our Kendo, especially when we do a very short Keiko. We have very limited time. Just giving our full attention to it will get us not only to be better, but also challenging our partner for them to be better as well. That's amazing. I think that's amazing.
そうですね
I think the next one is going to be the final, which we already know how that went, but amazing match nonetheless. Oh no, I don't. Is it the final?
5分では決着がつかずに延長これトータルで18分を超えたところで最後この宮崎の小手が
No, yeah, this is the semifinal for Miyazaki.
手元市内が浮いたところですねすかさず小手を打ったということですね
そして準決勝は福岡の立花
Oh, again, that compact man from Miyazaki,
初めてのこれ決勝進出になります
it's pristine.
その映画の
Now it's going to be the final, Eiga and Miyazaki.
準々決勝は大阪の佐藤との対戦でしたまず1本目相手が出てくるところ引いて面これも相手が出てくるんですが
場を切ってですねそれを
Was this Miyazaki and Eiga?
居ついたところですね瞬間的に居ついたところを下がりながら面打ったということですね
そして2本目はご覧のように返し胴
面返し胴ですね
Wait, did this loop? I feel like this was the first match. Oh, I think they're doing a Nippon recap.
そして準決勝東京の原田に延長ご覧のようにこれも返し胴ですね
That was the whole men kaishido type of thing. Okay, so now this is the final. This is where it's at.
初の決勝北海道の映画直樹宮崎を破って初のその栄冠を手にするか左赤が宮崎右白が映画さあ5分間の決勝勝負が始まりました
It's interesting because Eiga has a style where he's very aggressive, all up in your face type of thing. Miyazaki has a style that he'll catch you wherever you are. I do like also their connection with the sword as they go. How they're trying to control each other's sword. Whenever Eiga goes back, he just doesn't go back. He's also trying to control the sword, trying to make sure he doesn't get caught up.
この辺からですね一回勝負すると思います思い切ってはいどちらか勝負し始めるあれですねこういうふうな形ですね宮崎が行きましたね
See Miyazaki coming in with that Renzo Guasa with men, being ready for the next one. You see how as Miyazaki goes back. Miyazaki's on the right, by the way, if you don't know. As Miyazaki goes back, he's also trying to control the sword, making sure he doesn't get caught. That's actually very, very interesting. You don't normally see that. I haven't seen that lately that much. Like in the last All Japan, for example.
しながらですね、隙を捉えようというふうにやってるんですが、映画君がなかなかその剣線を外さない。これが宮崎君が攻めあぐんでるところですね。それから映画君はまたそのそれを中心に
Very nice catch from the Shimpan right there.
ですが、そこのところをその宮崎君が非常にしないさばき。
Like they were very quick at seeing what happened and stopping the fight.
出させないようにしてるんですね。その辺のこの攻防が非常に面白いですね。
映画の面、そして宮崎の小手。
I feel like at that point, Miyazaki was definitely trying to bait Eiga on that one.
さっと裂いてからすかさず面行く面がまだ一本も出してないっていうことですね。得意な面が出てないですね。
I want to ask everybody just to kind of like watch the intensity in which they cut. They use the whole body. They engage a lot of muscles after they hit. It's not just like the whole body, the legs, the glutes, the core.
さあ延長は一本勝負になります。宮崎の小手、旗は上がりません。3連覇、7回目の優勝なるか。それを阻止するか映画。これも宮崎に余裕を持って見られています。
Oh, such. It's. I mean, it's not like we haven't seen this kota before, right? But still, it's. I'm going to say it all started at. Hold on. Give it a second. This moment right here, obviously it's hard whenever you get an edited match just to know exactly where it was going to happen. But at this moment right here, where I feel like at this point is the point where they spend the most time having that conversation from far, right? So I could feel that something was going to change. Somebody's getting ready here to do something different. Now, again, maybe it's hindsight, right? Because I knew the ending of this match, but still, like for me, this moment kind of catches my eye in that sense that it's something is going to happen. So right now, the tension is being built up right there, and none of them are diffusing it. And I feel that at this point, when Miyazaki comes in, Eiga, I'm not gonna say that he's in control because I'm not. I couldn't really say that Eiga right now is fully in control. So, Steven, thank you very much for passing by. I really appreciate you, man. I know you're here every weekend, so thank you very much. I really appreciate it. You have some good food. Let me know if you get some ramen, man. I'm jealous. Have a good night, Brian. Thank you very much. Happy 4th of July, by the way. Okay, so at this point, I feel that Eiga, it's kind of not in control, but he is now taking advantage of the fact that Miyazaki is coming in. Now, it's very interesting because I feel like here, thank you, Steven. Here, Miyazaki pulled the trigger, but Ega was in the right positioning with the right momentum to get that hikikote. Hold on. So you see, he was already kind of on a defensive moment. So I don't know if Miyazaki kind of made that move out of like nervousness, like tension, whatever. He pulled that move out of that moment, and Ega was already like in prime real estate, for lack of a better word, to respond, because he was in a good position where his weight is ready to keep going backwards. His footwork is engaged to keep going backwards in this sense. So he didn't stop himself from doing that as he goes backwards. And this little moment after the Fumikomi, Ega was able to, and again, Ega has an incredible ability to just hit in whichever angle and whichever distance he's in, and he's able to take that hiki kote in such a close distance. And he risked it all. And it's interesting how right after, Miyazaki didn't try to just like knock him down the head, kind of, because he actually had a little bit of an opportunity there. So maybe he recognized like, oh, he got hit in a very good kote, or something. Maybe just his mindset or whatever. Very interesting. Look, how he recognizes. You got my ippon. That was really good. Very amazing fight. Very, very good attitude. Very good open mind, open heart type of attitude. I really appreciate when Kenshi have this type of attitude towards one another. I feel a lot of times in tournaments, people come and bow to each other kind of out of obligation. And I don't know, but I feel like that bow was honest bow. That is a habit that I have for myself created when it comes to after a match. It's like I like to bow. I like to directly. I don't like to go talk to my friends after my match or whatever. I like to go to my opponent, I bow and thank them for the keiko or for the shiai, whether I won or lost. That's like my number one priority. After that, I can do whatever else I need to do, but that's one of the first things I like to do. Also, whenever I get an ippon or I get scored on, I don't know why, I also like to just do a small bow at that moment right before getting to the position to Genkamai for the next hajime. It's just a thing I do, not necessarily because it's just etiquette or anything like that, but it's just something I do, and that I noticed that I caught myself in a habit into it, which I think it's not disrespectful at all. So I've been doing that. But that's one of the main things that I wanted to share this All Japan, because I felt it has so much substance. It has so much good kendo, and I feel that one way or another, and we've been talking about this for a while in several streams, that kendo in a way has become a little bit more of a physical aspect, and I wanted to explore a little bit of some of the differences of what this kendo was back then and how it's becoming today. I really hope we get to see more of this type of diversity in kendo, because I know a lot of the kenshis today that have the ability and they display it every now and then, but I would like to see a more consistent in the All Japan, but most importantly in the World Championship, right? Especially for the last World Championship was a little bit kind of like not as good as I would like it, as good as I would have liked it to be, because again, I felt like it was very sporty. Don't get me talking about the final Japan-Korea, because the team fight, that was just, I don't know. But I know that this techniques and this kendo, it's out there, and we've seen it successful. Even in this last tournament, we've seen how an Anadan 37-year-old Miyazaki can stand up against, you know, a 25-year-old within this tournament, and you know, and thrive and win. So it's very interesting just to see the balance between, of course, physicality but also technique, because kendo does have a physical aspect. I think so. Kendo does have an element of mental and physical toughness, but in another way, it also has an element that I feel that with the right attention, with the right balance, can make kendo very interesting. Because one of the things that I'm always trying to do is I'm trying to just find ways to make kendo interesting for the people that don't know about kendo. And I feel that seeing some type of exchange where you actually see how they're using a combination of not only of a combination of their body and their sword, I think it becomes more entertaining than just seeing people just kind of like jump at each other. I'm not saying that that's exactly what happened in the last All Japan, but I hope I'm not being misinterpreted. But it's one of the things that are kind of getting me to think lately, because again, I would like for kendo to become more accessible for people, for lack of a better word, right? And I understand that for beginners, kendo has a very different meaning that for people that been doing it for a while, and you know, like they compete, or maybe they don't compete, but they have a deeper understanding of kendo. But getting into making kendo fun and enjoyable for beginners, especially for like kids, younger adults and stuff, that, you know, they coming into the dojo because they want to do something fun, but also helping them understand that kendo, it has a purpose as well, right? Finding that balance has been kind of my goal right now, and transmitting that balance, because I would like to motivate people to come to the dojo to enjoy practice, but also get better, right? Because I feel that without that resilience, that mental toughness and physical toughness that we need for kendo, maybe people will get to have some fun a little bit, but at the end they will quit, because put it against somebody that has that, and they wouldn't be really able to really succeed. I don't know. I'm thinking about it. I would like to know your opinion. If you can leave it to me here through YouTube, or join the Discord. Link is this link right here. You can see it in the chat box, which I believe it's that way for you. Just click that and you can just join the server. It's free, so you can join in and join some of the great conversations we have there. I would love to hear your thoughts on that. Making kendo enjoyable, but also purposeful and what's it called, and beneficial for not only for the person joining in the dojo, but also for kendo in general. So I feel like that's one of the things we need, is not only to bring more people into kendo, but also bring people into kendo the right way, to make sure that kendo grows not only in numbers but also in quality. So that's one thing that I'm always thinking about, always looking for. So far, some of the things that I have found that I feel that are necessary to make this happen, number one is creating friendships with the people around kendo. You know, I don't think there's a necessity to create animosity. I think there's a lot of bad vibes out there within people, federations, and so on. People that their ego or like, I don't know what it is. Like, I personally have had a lot of problems with some people where I needed to step back. I needed to just kind of like just distance myself, because it kind of becomes hurtful and detrimental, not only to my, personal well-being and mental health and whatever, but also because it kind of takes away my desire to do kendo around people like that. So finding good people, finding good friendships, and enjoying kendo together with those people, I think is key. And for me right now, it is challenging because that means to have a close circle of friends right now to practice with, or to travel. So again, also I would like to know, if wherever you are, let me know if your dojo is open, if you're admitting visitors, so maybe you can plan up a trip, because some people are asking me, when am I gonna do a trip here in US, because I went to Greece, because I went to Europe. So they're asking me, hey, when are you gonna do a trip here in US? And I think I should start planning that. So if you let me know, I will be happy to figure out a way to visit the people that pass by my stream, have maybe a bowl of ramen after practice. I think that'll be amazing. And I think the next trip that I may take down to Mexico. I don't want to share too much just because I don't know if it's going to be an open event or not. So I don't want to kind of like, not that I have many people that would say, oh, I'm going to go, but I just don't want to, put on blast the organizers of what's happening. But I think my next trip may be to Mexico. And then after that, hopefully, or before that, I hope I can maybe go around some cities in US. So yeah. I think, guys, I talked a lot today. I think I covered a lot. We've been here for a while. If anybody has any question that I could, help answer, or any comments that I would like to bring up, please let me know, because that will be amazing. I'm here for that. I've been thinking of adding a little bit more time to the stream. Not more time, but like another day to the stream. I would like to, at some point, whether it is creating a new channel for the Spanish side, or just dedicating a day for like a Spanish stream. I'm still figuring that out. So if you speak Spanish and you English and you're here, because normally here most likely is going to be people that speak English. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know what will be the easiest for you. Melvin, okay, yeah. I know you're one of them. But we need more people, because every time either I don't know if it's going to be starting a new stream, a new day for the stream. Maybe I can do it where I bring people as guests, but I'll have to line up that way in advance. So it's complicated. It's complicated. But I'm working on ideas. So if you have any ideas, please, you can drop them here. You can drop in a comment below. You can go to the Discord. All the stuff, you're welcome to do that, because it's very useful. It's very useful to the direction of this channel. I'm very happy for everybody that's been commenting to my streams, been giving me a lot of your support, a lot of your ideas, a lot of your thoughts. You guys, I want you to know that you guys are keeping me motivated to not only do better in my kendo, but also to keep studying and growing in my kendo. Because one thing is, like, I don't want to share bad information or even judgment. I would like to share good information, facts, and things that I have seen that worked. And I'm always straightforward with you to let you know that if I'm sharing something, it's opinion. I'll let you know, hey, listen, this is what I think. It's not necessarily what it is. So yeah. On that note, guys, I think I'm gonna cut the stream off for today, because I know it's 4th of July. Maybe some people want to go do some grilling here in US. For my peoples in Venezuela, we celebrating tomorrow. Actually, we have 5th of July for us. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoy the stream. Always your feedback is welcome. Please come back next week, Sunday, 3:30 p.m. Anything I can do for you, please let me know. Send me a message, join the Discord, and I'll be here next week. Okay? Thank you very much for being here, and you guys have a good rest of your weekend. Bye.